It's October. Y'all should have known this update was coming. Now, when I did this in rehearsal, it took me almost 40 minutes. So I'm finna speed through this as fast as I possibly can. If you're new, my name is Wade. This is DHN. Been covering crypto assets since 2019. I only made this channel to share everything that's in my head with you. All I ask is you hit the like button. Not for me, but for crypto. What we have here, Elite 8 crypto portfolio for 2024. Every year for the last 4 years, I've taken 8 assets that I thought were going to be the best performers. And this year, I did something different. Discovered Crypto, CoinMarketCap's crypto portfolio tracker, dropped a theoretical $1,000 into each asset, added $200 in stable coins, got to have your stable coins, and just kind of let this thing sit. Now, I'll show you the magic of this because we got 12 months of data here. There's only been a total of 3 transactions in this entire portfolio. The initial one, October 12th, 2023, January 17th of this year, and then May 13th, where we kind of just like went all in on XDC because it wasn't moving. So we struck, and that's how you crypto. Now, our cost basis, our total principal investment is $10,000. And you can see right here, as of today, we've doubled it. Over $9,000 in profit. And as a matter of fact, we go to the calendar here. It was the end of March, $30,1397. So a theoretical $1,000 into the 8 assets that we selected back in October of 2023 would have made you 30 grand by March. You would have 3x'd your $10,000 investment. And if you would have just rolled it out and didn't pay it any attention, you're still double right now. So the key takeaways that I pulled from this comes from that line of thinking. Let's just say theoretically we were sitting on this cash for real, right? What would you do if you were up $20,000 in your portfolio? Your top performer over the last 12 months was Solana. Your 5K in profit on Sol, your XDC's down a little bit, and the rest of your portfolio has you with some questions. So let's try to answer a couple of those questions. Now, right away, if I'm sitting on this much Solana and I'm in profit, 6 grand, even with the market being shaky in the last couple of months, I'm taking this 5,000 off top. Christmas is coming up. Yes, Lord. Same story for IMX. That was a beautiful ride. Got in at 53 cents. After we got in at 53 cents, here came Ubisoft, Amazon, Disney, so many different partnerships. The Polygon one, so many launches. It was a fun ride. It was a fun ride. Bitcoin, same story, up 1,300 on that one. Now, the first key takeaway that I got as soon as I opened this up, because the first time I opened this up again since May was October 1st. I was hearing a lot about Bitcoin's profit margins right now. They are very small. They are very, very small. As a matter of fact, I got a few charts that I'm going to show you. And for the context of this situation, I do need to say that none of this is financial advice. Just look at it as conversation between 2 bros over coffee, because that's what we having right now. I got mine to the side right here. Now, up 1,300 on Bitcoin, small profit margin. You can see we got in last year at 27,000. Price of Bitcoin right now is 60,000. We've only made $1,300. It's 100% profit margin. We netted 100%, but we got in at 27,000. There is no way, with the exception of an alien invasion, that Bitcoin is going back to 27,000. So I'm taking that profit. Ethereum, CRO, a little bit more disappointing right here. Been holding Ethereum and CRO for 12 months and only made $500 for both assets. Now we can do a couple things here. I was looking at it like this. I would take the profits, because that's roughly $1,000 themselves, take them out, then take the principal from both assets, because I'm honestly quite disappointed with CRO. With the position that they got in 2021, they've really kind of let it gas out. They've let the air out of the balloon in the last couple of years. Ethereum, there's so many Ethereum competitors. And Ethereum also is in that same conversation with the smaller profit margin, being that its price point is where it is. We would have to take our Chronos profit and principal, flip it into Ethereum just to get 2.5 Ethereum. We could do the other way around, take our principal and profit from Ethereum, flip it into CRO. But like I said, I've been disappointed in CRO. So what we would do in this situation, take the principal and the profit from both assets, flip them into USDC, and just chill for a minute. Or we could go down further down our portfolio and take a look at the $25 in profit we've made on HBAR in the last 12 months. Yeah, I see why people have a thing against HBAR. But assets like HBAR, XLM, XDC, these are long-term plays. These are long-term plays. The market has not caught up to what these assets are doing. These are definitely second-tier, third-tier assets that are honestly focused on the use case that's going to hit us first. Another takeaway, looking at this portfolio, our best performer and our worst performer, if you look at them genuinely, what we really have here, our worst performer is a utility coin, and our best performer is an attention coin. Now, don't get me wrong, Solana has a lot of utility. The phone, the Solana Pay, numerous Web3, DPIN, so forth and so on. That network is doing its thing. You can't deny that. But Solana has also had a lot of attention in the last 12 months, whereas XDC has had virtually none. The only people that talk about it is me and you. So, the numbers in this case definitely are not lying to us. So, going back to the ETH CRO discussion, what you could do here, since you got it sitting in USDC, you always want to shift it into USDC first, just to keep the numbers in your portfolio right when it comes to tax time. You take your USDC, split it down between those three, or you could choose to add 2 more assets. It's totally up to you. Again, this is not financial advice. This is a coffee table discussion. And we got data and insight from the Elite 8 portfolio that I am amazed to have. And I'm so glad that I followed through with this idea. Always got to follow through with your first mind. Now, this, of course, gave me the idea to come up with a couple more portfolios. I knew the ISO narrative was hot, so I wanted to put one together for the ISO coins. I'm basing this on the original ISO protocol ledger family, the document from 2020 that includes USDC, XRP, Stellar, XDC, Algo, Quant, and IOTA. As you can see, the ISO narrative, it's tough right now. People have genuinely forgotten about it, and now we have the numbers to prove it. IOTA is another asset that is very good technically, but the marketing, the business side, the engagement with the community, it ain't there. It's not there, and you can clearly see that. We're down 50% on our IOTA holdings. We went into these portfolios, what was it? Yeah, roughly $500 a piece into the ISO coins. We're down all time $1,200. ISO, long-term discussion here. We know that the harmonization process was going to take until at least 2025. So we have to give these assets at least until then. If we get to Christmas and none of these assets are popping off, we have to have a different discussion, folks. We have to start having a different discussion. I know a lot of people have already come at me like, hey, this ISO stuff is dead. Stop covering it. I can't, man. You haven't read what I read. It's that simple. Now, DHN Gaming wanted to put this together. I really want to start a DHN Gaming channel because I believe in the Web3 gaming space. It is going to click, just not anytime soon. All right. As you can see here, worst performer is down 53%. That's the magic token. This portfolio was set up similar to the ISO portfolio, $200 to $300 into just a random assortment of gaming coins. The ones that I knew that I have been familiar with over the last 12 months, but they're all pretty much getting hammered right now. So that's another sector of crypto that is still evolving, that needs to, work the kinks out. And again, we have a portfolio now that will put all of that in number form. Another benefit to having this is we can see when the trends are changing. All right. Let's talk a little bit about trends here, because I don't often pull out charts unless I see something that compels me. So this first chart has been floating around. Crypto versus internet annual growth rate, the amount of users. As of year 8, as of right now, June of 2023, We're in year 9, roughly 2024. So we should be somewhere about, the last report I read, we were at 545 million people who are aware of crypto. The number is a little bit smaller at active users of crypto, but we want the awareness here. That's what we're looking for. And compared to the internet, we hit that number about a year and a half, 2 years sooner. So we're on a good trajectory here. We're on a very good trajectory. 2025, the estimate is 1.1 billion people in crypto. That's going to mark the end of the bull run. Or maybe it will mark the beginning of the second leg. If we've got this many extra people in the market after, let's say, the rest of this year, Bitcoin does its typical mathematical thing that it likes to do during halvings and elections. As you can see here, this is nonstop. And I've even seen people doubting this chart. I can't doubt this. I know history isn't supposed to repeat. It rhymes. Previous performance, not an indicator of future results. I understand that. But come on. Nothing else has been like this. And the path hasn't been exactly the same. It hasn't been identical. But the trend here, it's what's important. We got this election coming up. We're in a halving year. Bitcoin likes to do its best performing in this time period. And I think that is going to continue. And then here's another chart that I don't pull out unless I really feel something. At this point, this chart has its own lore on this channel. So this is a chart that I made back in 2019, because when I got into space, I was trading. Before I was heavy into reading articles, utility, all of that, I was trading. These are the parameters that I set up. I only use one set of indicators, Bollinger Bands. Earlier this year, I came in and added these here. October 2020, market Bitcoin went up 20%. It ended 20% higher than what it entered October. What's this here? October 2021, 40% move from what it entered October at. October 2022, even though that year was disastrous for crypto, Bitcoin still pumped 13%. It finished the month 13% higher. Last year, 27% move. So everybody is into, this is why they call it Uptober. It's because for the last 4 years, Bitcoin has made a move in October. Now, the entry for October, I believe it was 63,800. We're currently down to 60K right now. But I saw this headline this morning that I think is going to have an impact on that sooner than later. As you can see, inflation falls to 2.4%. Now, I'm not a finance major, but I'm going to give you my understanding as someone who has been in the crypto space for a long amount of time and has come to understand when this news come out, how it affects the markets. Inflation is down, then interest rates are going to be down. And if interest rates are lower, that makes money cheaper. And if money is cheaper, people are more prone to buy riskier things like crypto. On top of that, and I love how Watch Your Guru just has this American flag right here, we got the election coming up. That always pushes the needle. Like I was just saying about the halvings, that always pushes the needle for Bitcoin. And then this last chart is a bit of a conspiracy, but this was created by a gentleman. His name is Samuel Brenner. And this thing has been accurate for the better part of 100 years, okay? Now, I stumbled upon it at the end of last year. And I told my wife, I'm going to hold on to it, see if it's got anything to it. I doubt it, right? Well, we did, we are, as we saw earlier, in 2023, Bitcoin was at 27K. A year later, we are at 60,000 after not too long ago hitting all-time highs. You look at the year 2023 for this chart, we are in this right here. And 2026 is the year things, a retracement before, we won't go that far. But we'll just stick right here because this seems to be where we are. 2024, the election, end of cycle 2025, crypto should be at 1 billion users. Logically, this would make sense that that'd be the point where things begin to retrace, because at 1 billion users, that's mainstream. And then there's always a pullback when there's mainstream energy. As you can see here, 2016. 2016, that was the year that the CBS drama, The Good Wife, did an episode about Bitcoin. The price crashed right after that episode aired. And then some of you may remember 2021, SNL, I believe. No, it was 2022. The top of 2022 was SNL. You guys have to correct me, but after the SNL skit, Dogecoin crashed, and so did the rest of the market. This chart is compelling because we seem to be moving in an upwards trajectory on par with what this chart is indicating. And the rest of the halving cycle, Bitcoin's 4-year cycle, culminates in 2026. Now, again, we just having a conversation over coffee. All right. And none of this is financial advice. Now, I want to share one more portfolio with you. And this is a little bit more strategy. So this is my 5K12 portfolio. This is a personal portfolio, more reflecting of what I'll actually be holding over the next 12 months. Because I got a plan to allocate a certain amount of my net worth to crypto. No more than roughly 3%, 3 to 5% for right now, because it's still early. I want to diversify into other things, have cash on hand, real estate, all of that stuff, right? But I'm starting that journey right now. Having this information on how to construct a portfolio, I'm finna go all in on this thing. I also want to present this when we put our package together to go and get a home. I'm learning through my work, through my study of how to build credit, because that's another mission I'm on over the next 12 months, that your net worth is a reflection of all of the assets that you have collectively. So my target, 5K. 5K in crypto, and just let it sit. The thing is, how we getting there? I'm going to give it to you in less than 2 minutes. So I picked 5 assets here. And then, of course, you got to have your USDC. To that point, you guys know I talk about Uphold all the time. They have now introduced the 4.9% APY on your dollar. This is insured by the FDIC up to $2.5 million. If you put in anything over 1,000, you get the full 4.9. Anything under 1,000, you get 2%. Either way, if you can't get access to this type of savings at a bank, I would suggest it, because I just definitely started an account myself. That will apply to US dollars. They also have an option for stable coins as well. But let's get back to this list here. You can see I picked Polkadot, Stellar, Algorand, HBAR. My plan is $200 every 2 weeks, dollar cost average, a total of $200 across all of these assets. Excuse me. That would explain why the amounts $40 across each asset. I know it's not a lot, but I also wanted this example, this illustration, to be as realistic as possible. Not everybody is sitting on 10K. But I know a few more people are sitting on $1,000 that they're wondering how to get into this crypto thing with. So I would definitely put a portion of that in stable coins. Start with some Bitcoin. These picks here are more personal, more preference based. I've been studying Stellar, Algorand, and HBAR for all these years. And with the ISO harmonization getting ready to culminate as we head into 2025, these micro regulation rules are reinforcing global payments. The UDPN has created a universal software to connect all of these chains to. Yeah, I'm taking the ride this year. I'm taking the ride on these 3 this year. Polkadot was more of my wife's choice. She's been yelling at me about Polkadot since Polkadot was back here. I'm not going to miss it again. I hope we can get back up there. But yeah, that's why we added Polkadot. Now, simply my target, I got targets here, and I'm using market cap as my target. Now, for Bitcoin, back to the point of the shorter profit margins, I had to compare Bitcoin's market cap to traditional stocks. We've already hit the 75K, the 1.49 trillion in market cap. Bitcoin's all-time high was roughly around that 1.41 trillion. We're sitting at 1.2 right now. that 2222, that's Saudi Aramco, 1.74 trillion, 88,000 Bitcoin, only a 1.45x. Google, where a lot of people, 2 trillion, and that would be a price of $100,000 Bitcoin. That's the estimate that a lot of people are saying for this cycle. Some are saying 150. So if that's the case, at 100K, that's only 1.6x from where we are right now. 150, 2.5x. So those profit margins, again, are a lot smaller for an asset like Bitcoin. Where could Bitcoin reach? My prediction lines up with the 90K range. So around Amazon, the 1.94 trillion number. On the 200 that we have allocated, we should see maybe 450 at the end of 12 months. It's Bitcoin. That's okay, because when we look at the rest of these assets, it's all going to come together. For example, our target exit for Polkadot, we're at 6 billion right now. Polkadot has an all-time high market cap of around 32 billion, 35. I'm looking to get out 5x from here at 30 billion. Smooth. And if we look here, $30 billion market cap, 5.29x. This is $21 Polkadot. We got in at 4. You can't complain about that. Algorand, a lot bigger numbers here to play with. Algorand's market cap was $900-something million when I made this. So I'll put a comparison at 1, 2, 4, 10. Algorand's all-time high market cap, 13 billion from 2021. So that gives us an idea that this next run, Algorand could land anywhere between 10, 15 billion in market cap. That's a 10x. My target, 10x is my target, $10 billion market cap. So a 10x from here. If Algorand hits a $10 billion market cap, I'm out the way. I've made my money. I've made actually a little bit over $1,000 or $2,000 off of Algorand at that point. XLM, sitting at about $2 billion market cap right here. So compared it to Uni, Link, AVAX, Doge, and, just being overly optimistic, XRP, that's an 11x. My target for XLM, 4 to 5x. So anywhere between 10 billion and 15 billion in market cap. I believe their all-time high was roughly around $30 billion. I'd have to double check that. Don't quote me. But for this cycle, I'm looking for a 4 to 5x. Stellar is sitting anywhere between 10 and $15 million. I'm out the way. That's just what it is. That's another band that's going to accumulate into that 500. HBAR, similar story. All-time market cap for them was $6 billion. So we're looking at CRO numbers, ICP, SWE numbers at 2, 3, and 5 billion. So let's say I believe this cycle, a lot of the assets are going to reach their previous all-time highs and then just break above it slightly. So that would see Hedera's market cap with an all-time high of 6 billion, max out at 10 billion for the next cycle, another 5x. I'll take that. That's another flip on my money here. So altogether, I should be looking at about $5,400. $5,400 just sitting on the side after 12 months. The last time I bought into the portfolio was December of this year. And if all goes well, and again, I'm basing this on the different economic conditions that we have going into 2025 that we didn't have going into 2024. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic about the direction that this could go. Now, I see this video is pushing past 23 minutes, but as you can see, I really needed to get that information out there. Now, I want to share this with you. I got one more thing for you. Put together a PDF. Like I said, I've been in this space for a minute. So I put together a list of resources, some info, a little doc here to share with you guys where to get started. All right. 5 verticals of crypto. That section pretty much breaks down a way for you to understand the crypto space as a whole, how it really boils down, right? The different sectors, macro level events, emerging technologies, gaming and digital ownership, stuff like that. Then we have criteria, how to evaluate assets. After all of my years in the space, it boils down to these 4 things. If their social media activity isn't strong, stay away. If their network activity isn't strong, stay away. If they're not marketing themselves properly, and this one is something fairly new, you might want to just be cautious with that one. Utilitarianism. Does this asset do anything? The next age of this market is going to be based on utility. I don't care what the traders tell you. They're going to be trading utility coins sooner than they think. So the asset that you're getting into must be doing something. Now, like I say here, this list is not exclusive. These are links to assets that will help you get familiar with any crypto platform. And it's a diverse list. Yes, some of them we've covered on the channel. Some of them I'm holding right now. But what you're going to get is an idea of assets in different sectors to varying degrees of success, because not all of these assets on this list are necessarily successful right now. Ronin has some problems. Chili's is having some problems. Energy Web, we talked about that. They're having some problems. So that list is more so of a rubric, a guide, so that way you get familiar with not only the social media accounts of these assets, where they have their social media, stuff like that, websites, the foundation accounts, which you'll get with an HBAR, with the Constellation, with an Algorand. So that's what makes this useful. And then, of course, these tools and resources here down at the bottom. It took me years to discover these websites. So I'm really looking out for you. All right. And they cover everything: NFTs, DPIN, payments, real world assets, you name it, DeFi, whatever you want. So, yeah. And then news. This Crypto Panic here. This is a news aggregator. So this site is going to take you to a list of crypto news websites. So you'll get different sources from all around the crypto world. You can start there, then pick your favorite publications. Enterprise News, this is a list of my favorite publications. Ledger Insights is my number one go-to for crypto information. They cover the events from the enterprise perspective. Anything about the Bank for International Settlements, IMF, World Economic Forum, the big names, they get written about on Ledger Insights. Payments, more so commercial level, commercial banking, Visa, MasterCard, your fintech, stuff like that, alongside Finextra. And then Genfinity.io, that's for your altcoins, Hedera, Algorand, XDC, Stellar. They cover quant assets like that. And then, of course, you got your gaming. Decrypt does a very good job covering Web3 gaming. And then there's an NFT site that I discovered recently. So if you're into NFTs, hey, so are these guys. And then at the bottom, got some affiliate links. You can click those if you want. That's not the important part. What's important is that if you click the link in the description under DHN Starter, you can get access to this free PDF, free to download, print it out, share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. Now that this video has eclipsed 30 minutes, I'm going to stop talking. Again, if you found value, I want to thank you for coming back to the channel. And y'all know what time it is. If that money is digital, so is the hustle.